So this week we are focusing on our NCM 300 zone panel. And every week from here on out, we'll be focusing on a different topic. All will be recorded. So again, if you need those recordings, happy to share them with you. So again, anyone new, you're muted. You cannot unmute yourself. Any questions you have, please use the chat. David will address those questions at the end of the training here. So at this point, let's get started. David, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Justin. I want to welcome everybody. Again, like Justin said, my name is David Emig. I am a factory direct rep for EWC Controls. EWC, as you can see, does stand for Excellence Without Compromise. While we go through this training, again, like Justin addressed, if y'all have any questions, please throw it through the chat app and we will cover them at the end of the presentation. If you would, take a screenshot of this particular screen and get a hold of any one of us sales reps after this. Once again, the relationship doesn't end here, it starts here. As you get questions throughout the year on any zoning question, feel free to give us a call. You could also give our live team of engineers a call. Their phone number is 800-446-3110. Depending on what time zone you're in, you see them at the bottom. Get a hold of them. One thing we pride ourselves on is our team of engineers. You won't be on hold for 20 minutes just when you call in the helpline. We prefer you to do it while you're at the job site. Obviously, you can do it at any time, but get a hold of them. Like I said, you won't be on hold. Dial in, hit 0, tell the operator you're on a job site, what panel, you'll get sent over to one of our engineers and we'll make sure that we take care of your question in a timely fashion. Today's focus, like Justin said, is on our NCM 300 panel. We'll cover some sales of zoning, we'll go through some features, we'll cover some wiring, we'll go through a few applications, and then as we go through the whole selection, we'll kind of cover some troubleshooting of that panel as well. I'd love to talk about where we are in the air conditioning industry. If we looked back, like I got into this industry back in the late 80s, and I don't know if y'all remember the 1F56444, this little White Rogers thermostat, mechanical thermostat, and shoot, when we raised the price from, I believe it was $13.50 to $15, you could have thought we chopped someone's daughter's heads off or what have you. But nowadays we have homeowners that are into Wi-Fi thermostats. In fact, they want to control their whole house via Wi-Fi. So the question I pose when it comes to the air conditioning industry, do we really think the future of air conditioning is one thermostat sitting in the middle of a house? Of course not. We're looking at zoning to be able to put thermostats throughout the house, giving homeowners the temperatures they want, when and where they want it. And Wi-Fi, every one of our panels are fully Wi-Fi capable. We don't have one specific panel. Using one of them, and we can make it Wi-Fi capable. We just talked about having thermostats throughout the house. Zoning is for comfort. That's the biggest benefit you do want to get across to your consumer. No longer do we have that thermostat sitting in the middle of a house. It doesn't sense east sun, west sun, north wind, south wind, doesn't sense infiltration. You have to ask yourself, what does it sense? It senses temperature right there in the hallway. Now, think about that statement. We just told our homeowner that the most comfortable place in their house is the hallway. Is that what we really want to get across to our consumer? Or even if you're in the new construction business and you're talking to a builder, and the builder, you're designing out this house, and the builder goes, okay, we'll put a thermostat right here. And you can say, oh, that's what you want, Mr. Builder? You want me to tell the homeowner that their most comfortable place is the hallway, or do you want to tell them that? We want to take that thermostat, put it on perimeter areas of the house, not necessarily perimeter walls, but different loads, the master bedrooms, the game rooms, the bonus rooms, the living areas throughout the house, giving the homeowner ultimate comfort throughout their home. We just kind of talked about it. Opportunities for zoning out there. New construction, obviously, zoning is great for the new construction market. We don't have the drywall in the way. We don't have insulation in the way. We can run thermostat wire anywhere we want in the house. It just makes it a lot easier. However, the retrofit market is huge. I mean, absolutely huge. Think of how many times we walk into a homeowner's house and we can ask them a plain question. Ma'am, sir, do you have any hot or cold spots around your house? What are they going to say? Of course, they're going to say yes. However, we're also taught as salespeople not to ask closed-ended questions. So we want to ask them, ma'am, can you show me your comfort problem area you're having in your home? Or how about this? You walk into the home, you're looking at the house, and you say, oh, do you only have one thermostat on this system? Pose that question to that homeowner. All of a sudden, they're thinking to themselves, well, I can have more thermostats? Yes, you can. With our system that we're going to design for your home, we'll have a thermostat in your master bedroom. We'll have a thermostat in your living area. We'll have a thermostat in your other bedrooms, giving you the ability to have the comfort you want when and where you want it. The benefits are why you want to be able to offer zoning. How many dealers do you know right now that offer forced air zoning on every system? I would say it's less than 2%, just for the fact that the majority of times we want to get in there, solve a problem, and get the heck off that job and move on. Now there's I have a 5-gallon bucket challenge that I always talk about, and it's not the ALS, pouring ice. No, I don't want you to pour a bucket of ice over the top of a homeowner, but I do want you to do this. Carry an extra 5-gallon bucket. Have it in your truck. Because a lot of times we're out working on that unit. What does a homeowner do? They come around the corner, they ask us, hey, can I get you a glass of water? Can I get you a soda? Can I get you something to eat? What can I do for you? And we politely say, no, I'm okay. I have water in my truck. Don't worry about it. From this day forward, I want you to say, yes, I'd love a glass of water. When they go in to get you a glass of water, you pull yourself that 5-gallon bucket, you flip it upside down, you set it right next to the condenser. Homeowner comes out, they sit down next to you and you talk to them. Drink that cup, let them know what's going on with their system. The amount, the attention span that a homeowner has when you're talking to them about a compressor, a coil, a contactor, and refrigerant is about this much. But what did you do in this time period? You brought them into your world. Now, when you're talking to them about zoning, high efficiency, filtration, UV lights, all these other add-ons that the air conditioning industry offers, you're not selling. All you're doing is talking to them and they're buying from you. That's why you want to be able to offer zoning. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. How many of your potential customers already have a forced air zone system in their home? Again, not many. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. How about this? How many homeowners have a zone control system in their home? I just changed the wording on there. How many have a zone control system? Believe it or not, every one of them. Every one of them has a zone control system. Take a look at our light switches. Do we turn all of our lights on and off with one switch? Nope, multiple switches around the house. How about a water faucet? Do we turn all of our water faucets on with from one location? Of course not. We'd be wasting water. So we already have 2 out of the 3 mechanical systems in our homes are zoned out, but which one is the most expensive to operate? You tell me. HVAC system. #1 consumption of energy in a home, and it's not zoned out. Why not? How about the automobile industry? Look what they've done. Every time I get to this slide, I chuckle to myself because we now have in these automobiles, and it doesn't matter whether it's an SUV or even a sedan, what have you, we have temperature controls for the driver's side as well as the passenger side. Like we have an invisible wall down the middle of these vehicles separating those temperatures. No, it doesn't happen. How about front seat, back seat? No, it does not happen. It's a small confined space. That air is mixing inside there. And then consider air conditioning. automobile engineers sitting around a table scratching their head. And I say this with all the respect to everybody, but they're scratching their head going, how much money can we get a guy to spend to keep his wife's mouth shut? I mean, they get $1,000 for this option in the automobile, $1,000, and we'll gladly pay for it. It's comfort for that automobile owner. So consumers, they are demanding forced air zoning. All we have to do is open up our mouths and talk about it. Zoning is not something we have to cram down these people's throats. Just talk about it. Everybody has hot and cold spots around their house. Talk about it. They understand it. They get it. Light switches, water faucets. Keep it simple with that homeowner. Comfort problems that we come across every day. We're looking at multi-level homes. Everybody knows a basement is cooler from the middle floor, which is cooler from the upper floor. We have exposure issues, north wind, south wind, east sun, west sun, living loads. Talk to your homeowner. Again, we're talking to them. Yeah, we're creating conversation. We're also finding out exactly how they live inside that home so that we can design that comfort system to give them the best system that they could possibly have. We have multiple panels that we're going to be able to offer. The NCM 300 is the one that we're going to go over today. We have our BM Plus series panel, our UZC series panel. Those are all 24 volt wiring. We also have our communicating panels. The UT 3000 works with the Daikin equipment, as well as our EcoNet system for the Rheem Rude product. Let's get on to the NCM 300 panel. Justin alluded to the app. And guys, this does save you time. Imagine we're out at a home. We've got the homeowner jonesed up on zoning. It's like, instead of having an uh-oh moment to where you're writing up this proposal and you have to go out to your truck or car, and now you have to call the distributor and say, hey, what panel do I need for EWC? And then the distributor goes, I need to call EWC. Use our app. And if you guys bear with me, I'm going to back out of this presentation real quick, and I'll show you how easy it is to come up with this app. So right now, I just hopped right onto my phone. That's my home screen. If you notice, right in the bottom middle, we have EWC. All you have to do is press the EWC app. Up comes our bypass calculator. As we slide up, we get to our zoning system products. There's a control panel. We hit the control panel. It asks us, are we looking at a residential or commercial? For our application today, I went ahead and I hit residential. Single stage cooling or two stage cooling. Today's example, I'm gonna do a single stage cooling. Heating stages, single, 2, 3, 4. How many stages? Just dial it in. For today, I'll go ahead and put 2 stages. How many zones? 2 through 22. For today's example, I'll just put 3 in there. We slide up a little further, it says suggest control panel. Bam, up comes the NCM 300 panel. As we slide down, it gives us a web page, the tech bulletin, a submittal sheet. It also gives us the other panels that we carry that are capable of handling the single stage cooling, 2-stage heat. Again, gives a description of it, gives us the web page, tech bulletin, and submittal for it as well. So it is at the tip of your fingertips to go ahead and use that app. Now bear with me, I'll get back into the setup of our get a hold of that app. Like Justin said, go for your iPhone, your Android app store, download it, mess with it. If you have any questions on it, feel free to give any one of us a call. NCM 300, that is our deck that we designed from. This panel, it will do 2 stages of heat, single stage cool, 2 or 3 zones. A couple of features this panel has. couple of them I like. We have a common wire terminal provided for easy system checkout. We have an indoor fan control. Talk to your homeowners. If they like to entertain a lot, what you have the ability to do, let them know. They go into that entertainment zone, go to that thermostat, flip that thermostat to the on position. As long as we do not have a call for heating and cooling in any of the other zones, we'll shut those other dampers, circulate that air inside that zone. Then if I do have another call for heating or cooling in any of those zones, I'll shut that fan circulation call, open up the other zones, go heat or cool those zones, shut the compressor off, purge the hot or cold air off of that coil, shut that damper, open up the fan circulation damper, and we'll go right back into it. We have a 4-minute changeover timer. All of our panels, fully auto changeover. We do not need auto changeover thermostats. Sequence of operation, first call takes priority. Let's say I'm in heating. I will heat that zone till it satisfies or I receive an opposite call for cooling. Once I receive an opposite call for cooling, I'll go into an internal 20-minute timer. If I haven't satisfied that heating call in 20 minutes, I'll shut that compressor down, purge all the hot air off that coil, shut that system down for 4 minutes, go cool the zones calling for cooling, shut the compressor, purge the cold air off of that coil. If I still have that heating call, great, I'll go back into that heating call. But when we're with a system that has a bypass, a 20-minute runtime is obsolete, or it's not gonna happen. I'll say it that way. All simple wiring, regular 18-gauge T-stat wire and run it according to your local codes. We're not changing the theory of wiring, everybody. We want to consider the panel now the thermostat. Go from your outdoor unit to your indoor unit. Then from your indoor unit, your terminal block, wire nuts, whatever you have there, bring it where you would normally go to a thermostat, you're going to bring it right to my panel. And that panel, I'd prefer you to mount it wherever that furnace or air handler is. If it is up in the attic, awesome, put it up in the attic. I just don't like it flat, mounted in a vertical position. We also have knockouts on there. I have approximately 14 of them. Actually, I have exactly 14 on this panel. 5 through the bottom, 5 through the top. You can bring wires in through multiple knockouts so you don't have a bird's nest. You can keep a nice clean look on there. It helps you for your troubleshooting. And we're gonna bring that system wiring from our air handler furnace right to the terminal block on the bottom left-hand side. Take your thermostat screwdriver that is supplied with this panel and wire it in. We have multiple applications. If I looked at a single stage cooling with single stage gas, R, G, Y, W, C, it's a dead common. So bring your common in there. It is used for troubleshooting. You can look at take your voltmeter, go from C to Y. See that you are actually sending 24 volts out. But a simple 5 wires, guy. Everybody, we've been doing this since day one. If I looked at a 2-stage gas system, R, G, Y, W, C, W1, W2. There's your 2-stage gas system. How about an O-type heat pump? R, C, G, Y, O. Notice I have nothing on W1B. My auxiliary heat is on W2E. And I only have the R coming in. I do not need to put a jumper between RC and RH. I give you an RC-RH link. How about a B-type system? R, G, Y. Notice I have nothing on the O, W1B, and then I have W2E. That W1B is the reversing valve for your Riemann-Root systems. And then our dead end common used for troubleshooting. Couple transformers we also have available to you. We have our plate mount to go inside your junction box, or we have a foot mount that you can actually put inside your air handler or furnace. You can size your transformers 3 VA per damper. So all you have to do is add up your dampers, multiply by 3, and that would be the size of your transformer. We have a thermal circuit protector from Protecting the board from a short in either a thermostat or a damper wire. If you didn't know I had this feature and you power this panel up and these LEDs light up and then they quickly shut off, you would go, dang, I got a bad panel. Now you're gonna undo all your pretty wiring, you're gonna bring it back to your distributor. The distributor gives you another panel, you head back out there, you spend the next 20 minutes wiring it up, guess what happens? Same thing. So a couple things. We asked you, one, please do not pull a panel off the wall until you've given a call to either one of us regionals or to our tech help department. But if my panel lights up and shuts off, touch that thermal circuit protector. My technical term is orange rubber thingy right here where the transformer comes in. Touch it. It'll be hot. If it is hot, you have a short in either a damper or a thermostat wire. A simple way to diagnose where your short is. Cut power to the panel. Either take your C or your R wire from your transformer off the panel shuts down. Undo all your M1s from your dampers. Undo the R's from your thermostats. Now this thermal circuit, power this back up. Thermal circuit protector will cool down. The LEDs will come back up. That status LED will start blinking. Now plug the M1s slowly back in, and then as soon as it pops, there is your short. Very quick and easy. That gives you the short in a damper. Plug your R's in. If you find the short there, now you've got a short in your thermostat. Damper wiring, simple wiring. M1, M2, M4, and M6. Our dampers are 3-wire, M1, M4, and M6. The damper terminal blocks are 1-to-1, 4-to-4, 6-to-6. M4 is to power a damper open, M6 is to power a damper close. We have an M2 on there that is a constant 24 volt. That is there because our board will adapt to the majority of 24 volt dampers built like the last 60 years. So if you have a, just Durazone dampers had to have a constant 24 volt sent to it. You want to save the homeowner money? Great. Pull their panel off the wall, leave their dampers, put my panel up there, and you'll wire their dampers M1, M2, M4. My spring operated friends, power close, spring open, simple. 2 wires, M1, M6 will power those as well. We have a couple of potentiometers across the top. The first one we can look at is our stage W2 timer. 7 minutes maximum comfort, 42 minutes maximum savings. This does not go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 off. It goes 7 off. So again, the timer is 7 minutes maximum comfort, 42 minutes maximum savings. Talk to your homeowners. If they're interested in saving money, great. Dial this up to the 42-minute mark before we'll bring on that second stage of heat or second stage of gas. We have our low limit and high limit temps. These are directly in contact with our supply air sensor that comes packaged with the panel. So what we're going to do is take our thermostat screwdriver that once again is packaged with the panel, dial in your temperature, whether it's from 34 up to 52 degrees on the cooling side. If you're in a high humidity area in the south, along the Gulf, what have you, and you're in an attic, I prefer you to dial that temperature more up towards the 48, 49 degree mark. We don't need you creating water inside a home. If you're in an air conditioned space, in a basement, up in the Midwest or across the nation, my gosh, turn that thing down. Let that your expansion valve work. The high limit temp from 110 to 170. A couple of temperatures I'll give you. I like to have the R22 systems at 130. I like to see the 410A systems at 135. With this panel, mental note for you, on our supply air sensor, on a heat pump application, I need the supply air sensor mounted between the coil and the heat strip. So it's only one application. It's your heat pump application, NCM 300, supply air sensor between the coil and the heat strip. I only give you one heating limit. I only want to know what that coil is producing. Wiring of that sensor, 2 wires, just tie one of them into one of them into 2. If there's ever a fault in the wiring with that supply air sensor, right in the middle of the panel, that LED for the supply air limit, it'll chatter. Or even if this sensor ever goes bad, again, it's a 2-wire 10 ohm resistance. Not a whole lot can go wrong with this, but if something does go wrong, take a look at that supply air limit LED. If it's chattering, 5-year warranty on it, go ahead and pull it out, put a new one on there. And I didn't mention that also, 5-year warranty on the panel as well from the date of installation. Thermostats, I don't care if thermostats y'all put on my system. I'm just looking at either all heat cooled thermostats or all heat pump thermostats, Wi-Fi thermostats. I don't even know what to say here. We have so many homeowners that want Wi-Fi systems. By all means, put anybody's Wi-Fi thermostat on there. It's fine with us. As long as every thermostat on the panel are either in the family of all heat cool, RG, Y, W, and C, or all heat pump. Our quick set switches, I like talking about these two guys because we talk about always being short of personnel in our industry, and yes, we are. But if I can train a guy very easily on a panel, and what I mean by that, I don't have to have 24 volts heading to this panel to set this whole panel up. So if I'm a salesman, let's say, and I'm out at the job site and I sold this homeowner on a zone system, I can take this panel, I'm at my desk in my office, I completely set this panel up, I can hand it to I don't want to say a newbie, but I guess in this case I'll say a newbie. A newbie, I can hand it to him. He knows RG, Y, W, and C. He can wire this panel up. It's completely set up for him. And then we can always change these switches on the fly, but we'll go quickly over them. They're going to ask, number one switch, is the system a heat pump or other? Did you use all heat cool thermostats or all heat pump thermostats? Notice I can have a heat pump system and use all heat cool thermostats. Do you need an extended fan run time? How long do you want that extended fan to run? Do you want a circulation pump to start 45 seconds ahead of the blower? If it is a heat pump, is it an O-type or is it a B-type heat pump? Supply air sensor. Did it come packaged with it? Did I install it? Yes, I did. Make sure y'all turn it on, especially if you have a bypass system. And then the last switch on here, it's your fan selection switch, just like we have on all of our thermostats, whether we want the panel to turn the blower on or not. We also have a CPU timer reset button. This button is here for you. Prefer you not to tell a homeowner about it. It's there for you to test your equipment out. Let's say we have our timer set at 21 minutes. We don't want to sit there and wait for 21 minutes to see if it'll bring on our second stage gas or our strip heat. Simply go ahead and press that button. It jumps through the time delays built into the panel, letting you test the equipment out and get the heck off of that job. Or let's say we're out at the job site and I'm not a newbie. I'm setting this thing up and oh man, it's not a gas system, it's a heat pump. So I flip that switch. Oh, it's not an O-type, it's a B-type. I hit that switch. I changed the W2 timer. I changed the low temp. Whatever the case may be, what I would prefer you to do is press and hold that button. Press and hold it for approximately 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, you'll hear a click. You just rebooted the microprocessor. Now this board shuts down, it comes right back on. It knows exactly what you touched on this panel and burns it right into the microprocessor. LEDs down the middle of the panel. I like to say these are bet your bottom dollar LEDs. We have a status LED blinking on and off, letting us know that our board is operating properly. Our supply air limit LED, I talked about it, it's there in case we've gone off on limit. If it is a constant LED, that just means that we're in an operable temperature. I'm protecting the equipment. I shut the compressor off or I shut the gas off. I'll hold it out for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, I take another reading. Am I back within my parameters? Yes, I am. Do I still have a cooling call? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll go ahead and send that signal back out. Zone 3, 2, and 1. This does not mean that our dampers are open. It means that that zone is calling. And then our W2, W1, Y, and G, these LEDs, these are the ones that I'll say are bet your bottom dollar. Guys, we have the strongest relays out of any panel built in America today, or I'll say built anywhere in the world. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say that. If my LED is lit up, you can bet your bottom dollar I am sending 24 volts out. So if you're at a job site, let's just say the status LED is lit up, zone 1 is lit up, Y and G are lit up. You can bet your bottom dollar I am sending 24 volts out on Y. At that moment, I'm going to start looking from the air handler out to the condenser and find out where we drop that 24 volts. And again, guys, we're here to help you. If you're struggling for 10 minutes, don't struggle more than 10 minutes out in the field. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. We are here to help you. That is our NCM 300 panel. I hope you enjoyed today. If you have any questions right now, by all means, go ahead and call us, chat it in. One of the things I also like to look at is about that future. We control what happens to that future. So I'll ask that question again. Do we really think the future of the air conditioning industry is that one thermostat sitting in the middle of a house? No way. No way. Again, my name is David Emig. You've got all of us on here. If you guys have any questions, by all means, feel free to share them.
So, David, I had someone direct message me. Looks like they were on last week's presentation. They were asking about the bypass damper. So he asked, I never installed a bypass damper before, but didn't see a tie-in on the panel for a electronic bypass. How does that work?
Great question, and I apologize for not going over that. With the SPD damper, you can tie it in multiple places on the panel. The place that I prefer to tie it into is right where you tie in the transformer. So let me go ahead and bring this back up, and oops, I guess I can't do that. Let's do it this way. Hey, right where your R and C come in on the transformer, tie it right there into the panel, or a lot of guys also like to bring it in where the dampers are tied in. You have the M1 is a common, M2 is that constant 24 volt. You can tie it into any of those terminal blocks as well. So great question.
All right, and there was one other one. What is the largest transformer you can put on the NCM 300 panel?
Great question there also. 60 VA on the NCM 300. So technically, if you looked at that, I can throw 20 dampers on that panel. And if you have 20 dampers on a 3-zone system, I need you to call me because you got a record going on right there. I'll give you a panel.
All right, that's all the questions we had submitted. So thanks everyone for joining again. We will have this recording available for you to digest at any time in the near future. We'll send that out probably tomorrow morning after it processes with Zoom here. Again, this is a weekly training seminar, so a new topic next week will most likely be on the BM Plus 3000, but we'll get that information out to you shortly. So again, thanks for joining and look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, David.
You bet. Have a great
one,
day,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.